I'm Frida. This is a relatively new channel, so please bear with me as I'm learning as I go. I'll be reading a little bit from notes, but also riffing. So first, a mini introduction. I already said my name. My name is Frida. I'm a fiber artist and crafter based out of Baltimore, Maryland. I specialize in making accessories and home items, but I make many, many other things. I like to explore. I have to keep my hands busy. I have ADHD, and making stuff is what keeps me sane and what makes me able to participate in the world at large. So I have other interests like fashion and design, coming at it from maybe a little bit of a different angle. I'll be sharing various aspects of my life in studio practice, so please like and subscribe if you want to help build that kind of community here on my little corner of the internet. Anyway, I recently shared on my various social media pages that I have scheduled breast reduction surgery. So that's what this video is going to be about. I was super nervous about sharing that info online, as you can imagine, but the response was overwhelmingly supportive and positive. So thank you to anyone that cheered me on. Many people were fascinated and curious about it. So I also received a lot of questions, many from people considering the surgery themselves. There were even comments from people who had had the surgery. So, I decided that this would be a good video to kick off my channel. I intend to post about once a week. The more that people interact with me here, the easier it will be. So hold me to it. Anyway, I have my surgery scheduled for April. It's thankfully being covered by Medicaid. And although I'm nervous, I'm mostly excited because I've wanted this most of my life. And it's been medically necessary for at least a decade, if not longer. I'll talk more about the process in a little bit, but first I want to go into detail about why I want and need it. And I actually wrote something in my journal that I'll share first. Okay, so it's not very organized. This was stream of consciousness writing, and but I really have finally started allowing myself to feel all the things that I feel about my body and my pain regarding my breast size fully. It's something I push down a lot. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't address it at all, but it's just something that I wouldn't let myself get super wrapped up in because I felt like there wasn't a solution and I just had to deal with it. So now that I know that I'm going to be saying goodbye to them, I've been able to look at it more clearly. So this is what I wrote in sort of in that feeling. Things I won't miss after surgery. Playing the game. Is it a heart attack, panic attack, heartburn, or just my sternum aching from having my boobs pulling on my chest from side sleeping? Having to decide which parts of my body will support my boobs during the day. Pecs, shoulders, neck, upper back. Regardless, it will hurt. Okay, I'm going to add to there. So I'm going to speak about each of those pains. So if I don't wear a bra, my pecs have to support, right? So that wasn't as much of a problem before the pandemic, because before the pandemic, I worked 5 days a week and I would wear a bra, so on the weekend I could just let my titties go and it wasn't a big deal. During the pandemic, I was like, oh, I'm home, I'm not wearing a bra. Woo! And oh my God, my pecs have paid the price. Shoulders, that's the bra. That's when so that's when I wear a bra regularly. So you can see the dents here. Okay. It's hard to see it because the little bit of chub that I had there is seen, but I have dents here. It goes all the way down to the bone too. There's no meat there, just skin. Neck. So this is more of a summer problem, or back when going out was a thing, if I wore a halter strap, so if I could to wear like something that was halter style or a bathing suit, you know, it would put the pressure, like right here. And that one's pretty bad, so I don't do that very often. Upper back, which is kind of where it's going to go now, because I have my bra done in the racer back style, so it puts the pressure on the back. So those are all places that it also affects my neck, and I get headaches, all that kind of stuff. Okay, moving on. Having to be careful rounding corners because the boob swing changes my course. Oh, yes. This one was more pre-pandemic, but I hope to be post-pandemic at some point. Well, I hope to be post-pandemic. I don't want this to happen. But unsolicited remarks and touching. And before you think it was just straight cis men, I've had folks all across the gender continuum do this. I'm sure this happens with other body types, but for me, it's been usually about my breasts, where people think that it gives them license to speak about my body because they're there. I'm a little feisty, so if you say something untoward to me and the situation is all right, I'm going to pop back at you. And a lot of times if I pop off because someone's made a comment about my body, the next thing they would say is like, well, they're there. I didn't do that. That was not me. They are just there. I don't like them. Thank you. Moving on. Having folks tell me I should flaunt my boobs because I'm lucky. I've already told you a lot about my aches and pains, and there's many, many more, so I'm not going into that. Moving on. Having folks tell me my outfit is sexy when it's not. Being hypersexualized and then being told that it can't be helped because of how I'm shaped. Not being able to wear a binder effectively. Again, I have gender feelings, and, I've been combating the notion that you need to have a masculine shaped body to be androgynous or to be non-binary. Why can't it be a little bit feminine? But anyway, I have tried so many binders and they do nothing for me but make me upset. Having to special order bras and bathing suits. So I don't often share my bra size online. It's personal. But for the sake of this video, the last time I got sized, I was a 36K. It has gone up over the pandemic. I'm just not as active. Now, the thing is you'd think that, if I got a little bit more active, I'd lose weight and I'd lose weight in my breast. Kinda, sorta. I don't lose the skin. So what happens anytime my weight fluctuates is that if it goes up, my breasts get larger. If my weight goes down, they get smaller temporarily. But then there's that skin, and then I gain a little bit more weight and it goes straight to my freaking boobs. So they actually get bigger no matter what my body does. I'm 40. They've been growing periodically all my life. That's not lucky. And anyway, so being a K cup and now probably an L cup, makes it so that I have to special order bras. I cannot buy bras in person if I want to be at all choosy about what the bra looks like. Can't be choosy about the color or the style or anything like that unless I go online. Bathing suits, regular bathing suits do not work on me. ASOS finally started carrying like some bigger size bra bathing suit tops that I kind of got away with when I was on vacation last year or right before the pandemic. And I don't know if they were something I would have wore when I was younger, but I've just gotten much more comfortable in my body. Anyway, moving on. Having my pets walk across my lap and step onto my boobs. Every morning when I'm drinking my coffee, I'm talking to my mom, I'm sitting in my PJs, and I'm not wearing a bra, my animals want to snuggle me. It's awesome. Without a bra, my breasts go very low. And so when I'm sitting, they're kind of sort of in my lap. And so if animal walks across in a certain way, they're smashing my boob onto my leg. And it fucking hurts. Being told I'm greedy, stupid, privileged, slutty by women. Oh yeah, ladies, some of you torture me too. Now, the reason why that one's particularly painful is because not that it feels good when men do it, but I'm used to that and I kind of got a thick skin for it and I can have an attitude and it doesn't hurt me. It just like annoys me. But for women, when women or even like gay men or other non-binary folks say stuff like that to me, that it hurts because I'm like, where is the solidarity? I thought we were in this together. Why are you the one doing this to me? Anyway, so people that when describing me physically start with my chest. And I suppose post-op it'll be my ass because it is fabulously large, but we'll see. I'll just move on. Gigantic PMS boobs. I'm actually dealing with that now. I suspect I'll still get PMS boobs, but at least they'll be smaller. So if you're taking like 10 pounds of boobies, right? And then when you're PMSing, they're swollen and angry and hurty and big. Like, I will not miss that. Having muscle spasms and headaches. So I've actually had my muscles lock up to the point of needing muscle relaxers and paying for massage and just doing stuff to mitigate that. I actually took physical therapy for this stuff. And it's all boob related. I did an experiment one time when I was feeling a lot of that pain and I just like supported my breast with my hands so that it wasn't putting pressure anywhere else. And it reduced everything. And I really had an aha moment about just how many of my aches and pains come from that. Leading into that, having my boobs be a whole ass situation 24/7. Like I have to plan for my breast no matter what I do. Going to sleep, taking a walk, working, crocheting, knitting, turning a corner, whatever. I always have to think about them first and how they are going to affect whatever I'm doing. Having to choose whether I want my chest to feel compressed beyond relief so they don't move too much, or to have them to be a little freer but bouncing in a very uncomfortable way when I run. Again, I think I might have mentioned it before, but I have ADHD and cardio is something that really helps me, but it's also very difficult because, again, it's a situation. Being very uncomfortable running by myself in public because more often than not, somebody either looks at me too long or says something, and 80% of the time it's breast related. Again, ladies and gays, you are not exempt from this. And then finally, using self-deprecating humor about my chest to preemptively acknowledge that, yes, I know how big they are, and LOL, isn't it funny? Because bitches, I am funnier than you, so I will tell the jokes before you and better than you. All right, so that's that list. So yeah, that little exercise there covers a lot of this stuff. I'm in pain a lot and uncomfortable a lot because of them. It affects my movement. It affects what I can and can't do. It affects what I can and can't wear. It affects how much money I spend on bras. Like honestly, I can't spend any less than $40 on a bra, and $40 is a very lucky price for me. Usually I'm spending at minimum $70 for one bra, and I don't make a ton of money, so I have to budget around when I have to get bras, and I usually only have 2 at any given moment that fit me. If I'm lucky, sometimes it's just one, and it's possible that it's very ratty because I haven't been able to get more. Anyway, so and then aesthetically, like honestly, like in my mind, you know how when you're in your mind, maybe it's just me, but like in my mind, like I have a mostly accurate picture of myself, but like when I'm kind of being like a little bit fantastical about it and I imagine like myself, my true self physically, it does not include large breasts. And I think that even if it was just an aesthetic choice and I was just paying for it out of pocket, like this is something that I would do if I had the opportunity to. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. So anyway, I'm gonna move on and, um, talk about the process. Obviously, I haven't had the surgery yet, but it's already been a journey. I'll say now that my experience is personal and not prescriptive, meaning that I understand that it may not go the same way for anyone else. And I'm not saying that if you have large breasts that you should have this surgery. Maybe yours don't bother you physically as much. Maybe you like them. I love big boobies. Not on me, but I think that they're great. If you love them, then great, Anyway, um, so I'm going to talk about the process a little bit. So now I'm going to riff. I don't have any notes about it. So the first step that I did really was just fact finding, and this was over years of time. I just started looking up breast reduction surgery, um, and just seeing what information was available. So a lot of plastic surgery sites, and some forums, and I learned a few things. First of all, as far as plastic surgeries go, breast reduction is actually the surgery that has one of the highest rates of satisfaction. Most people that get breast reduction are glad that they did. And that's a statistic. Um, and it's also something that I've noticed anecdotally from people in forums, and then also from people that have shared with me. When I made my post about it, I had so many people that I knew in my comments say, "Oh, that's the best thing I've ever done." My mother had it and she said it was life changing. So I'm ready for that. So my first step was just looking up online anything that I could about it and just seeing how good of a candidate I would be for it. And surprise, surprise, I learned that I fit most of the requirements. So I'm going to look up and just read one list of requirements for you. Okay, so to get approved by my insurance, I needed to meet some qualifications. Right now I'm skimming a health.com article. I'll post that, but then I'll also tell you what they looked for in my examinations. First of all, you have to prove that your breasts are too large for your frame to carry. So if you have, if you're really far down the alphabet in cup size, you're probably going to qualify. Um, Another thing they look for, the dents that I was showing you, that's one of them. The shape of your breasts. If you have big but perky titties that are like well supported by your chest wall, you might not qualify. Again, I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that. But they were checking for the shape of my breasts. So they look for pendulous breasts, which means that they hang and swing, which my boobs do. Something I didn't know when I was until I had my examination is that they actually also, like, if your breasts are so large that they are uneven by like a lot, then that's something that factors in. So my left breast is actually 1.5 to 2 inches longer than my right breast. Longer. If you describe your breast as long, it's very possible that you will qualify for this through your insurance. You have to prove that you have physical discomfort, pain. I get headaches. Again, I said muscle spasms, my chest hurts. When I sleep, it can be hard to breathe. Like sleeping has become an issue, and I actually have been having panic attacks lately because I just wasn't wearing a bra often enough. So I started wearing a soft bra to bed just so that I could sleep more easily. Um, so uh, so that another thing that I had to do was I had to you have to show that you've tried to do other things to mitigate the discomfort. So for me, it was physical therapy. I had a number of exercises that I had to do over a time, and then I had to follow up to say that, yeah, the exercises were nice. They gave some temporary relief, but my boobs didn't get smaller. I still have to deal with them. What can you do? So after I did that, I followed up with my primary care physician after physical therapy, and then she referred me to a plastic surgeon. So the next step was I had to go meet the plastic surgeon. Um, I'm really glad that I did. He put me so at ease about it. My surgeon is awesome. Apparently, he's award winning for the area and has been for some time. And, um, he answered all my questions and he measured my breasts and used those measurements to assess whether or not they could remove enough for it to be considered a medical operation. So this could vary. I'm on Medicaid, but it's through Kaiser Permanente, and their requirement is that um, the surgery has to remove at least 650 grams of tissue. So 650 grams equals about a little over a pound and a half. So I don't know the exact weight of my breasts, but it's well over that. So, and we're actually going to be removing a lot more than that. I am hoping to be about a B cup. They can't guarantee the cup size, but I am hoping for it to be a lot smaller. I told them go as small as you can, please. Thank you. I know a lot of people get the surgery and they basically only want to take off like the minimum so that they still can feel like their shape is similar to what they had before, which is all fine and good. But that is not what I want. So, so yeah, he took measurements. He measured, I'm trying to remember. He measured from my shoulder down. He measured underneath. He measured how they sat across from each other, all that stuff. It's really hard to weigh boobs, so he didn't do that. So somehow there was some calculation. I looked up a chart that had bra sizes and used my bra size to get a guesstimate of how big my breasts are. And I think it said something like it's like 8 or 9 pounds, something like that. And I learned that my left boob is a little bit denser than my right boob, so it might even be 10, who knows? So pound and a half, please take like at least 5 pounds from me. Like not about the weight, but just I don't want them. Okay. So then yeah, I met with the surgeon and he said that he was certain that the insurance would approve me. So then the next step was and again, this stuff might vary for you, but this is how it was for me. Then the nurse in the room then scheduled me for a phone call with the surgery scheduler. So so I think I went in on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then my phone call appointment was on that Friday. And so I spoke to the scheduler that Friday, and then they scheduled my surgery, which is April 22nd. So that's been the process so far. They did send me a pre-op instructional email, which I know that this video is super long. So if enough people are interacting with this and if you want me to go over what the pre-op stuff is, I'll definitely do a follow-up or two as the process goes along. But so far, that's been my experience. It's taken a long time to get to the point to put it on the schedule. Even when I was meeting virtually with my primary care physician, she was very careful to not overpromise. She basically, said, you have to jump through all these hoops. It's very possible that you qualify. It shouldn't be a problem, but you're going to have, it's a process. And, it was alluded to that I might have to lose weight. I'm very curvy. I'm not showing, I'm only showing the top half of my body, not even. But, I've made it work for me. I am very comfortable in my skin, even not liking my breasts. And I've learned how to rock it. I'm an hourglass shape, it looks like, but really I'm a pear. It's really weird that my butt is actually bigger than my boobs, but it is, got big legs. Um, so um, I'm what some people, older folks might call healthy, meaning I'm a little bit large. I don't want to take any uh platform from fat activists, but it's something that I follow just because I have been discriminated against because of my weight, but I also can fit into straight sizes if I look around, and I know that I have what's a more acceptable body shape, even though I'm chubby, So anyway, I was prepped for the possibility of being told that I also would need to add in diet and exercise and to lose some weight first before they would consider it. But thankfully, when I went in to meet the surgeon, that wasn't even a concern. They did weigh me, so I was like, oh, here we go. But all that happened with that regard is that he told me that if my weight fluctuated, that my breast size would fluctuate, that's what boobies do. So, okay, I'm ready. Anyway, so I've talked for a very long time. I've definitely made some edits because, I kept screwing up, and I guess that's how this shit goes. But I hope that this was informative and useful, answered any questions that people might have had. Definitely feel free to ask me questions in the comments. Share your experiences. I'd love to hear from other people that have had it. I've been loving hearing so far from people on the different platforms that I'm on, because it just, it makes me feel like, okay, I've made the right decision, and I'm just excited to prepare for the surgery. Please like and subscribe. Sorry if I said that a million times, but that's the thing to do, isn't it? I hope you all have a very nice day, and I look forward to posting a new video next week. Bye.